This is a live on Instagram for the Phoenix portal. So if you're watching on YouTube later, come follow me on Instagram so you can participate in the lives over here. And until people start coming in, just sending you some peace and love. Hello. Praying that everybody is well. And as you come in, let me know who you are and where you're listening in from. And if you watch later, please comment and share your thoughts. And again, the lives are an opportunity to engage and have a conversation. So I want to hear from you. I want to hear how you're doing. I want to hear your thoughts. Hello, Matrix 222 energy. Hell yeah. So tonight I just want to talk about what Spirit's been guiding me to share, which is we are in a time of massive deprogramming. Hello, Matthew from Guam. So grateful for you to be connected. And hello from other people from around the world. That's why I love going live on YouTube and Instagram. I am Keen Frequency. Marquise from Fall River. Nice to meet you. Oh, your birthday is 222. Oh. Very cool. You're in that unity consciousness. Sharing harmony wherever you go. And hello if you're coming in. Hope you're having a good day or afternoon, nighttime, whenever you watch this. And tonight I want to talk about this massive deprogramming that is happening. That's what my guidance is wanting to share with you all tonight. Peace to you, felt by Angel. I love the username. Very much love the angels. So I wrote some notes that channeled through and we'll talk about it. And again, feel free to contribute to the conversation. I want to hear from you all and what's been flowing through your consciousness, how you're resonating with the videos I've been sharing. And I'm always here as a guide on the soul path. So if you have any questions, anything at all, put it in the chat and we'll talk about it as a community. And if you have a positive message you want to share with other people who are going to watch this later, and I'm posting this on YouTube, put it in the comments. I would love to hear your prayers and your testimonies of how the divine, how God, how the universe is working in your life. So we are in this time of massive deprogramming. So the message to you is keep the vision of your soul in mind. You can have a year plan. You can have a life plan, but detach from the idea of how many titles or accolades you want to achieve in life. If you're on the spiritual path with me, if you're on the path of consciousness, time is moving very quickly for us. So you can go ahead and have the 5-10 year plan, but if you're tuned in, then you know that there's so much control we give up to the divine to guide us in our lives. That's living very humbly. It's living very surrendered to a higher love. So sometimes the human mind will convince us that we're not smart enough or we're crazy if our life isn't so planned out as everyone else around us seems to be. But in this age, what's happening now, and you can witness this politically, is all this massive deprogramming that actually the earth, God is forcing us to move through so that we surrender that control. So if you're going to plan something, if you're on the soul mission, if you're a spiritual entrepreneur, you can plan about a couple weeks. And then in a few weeks, I promise, if you're on this timeline with me, we see things manifest very quickly. So that means you're tuned in, you're tapped into the soul. And that's going to be living at a very rapid pace in your life that other people may not understand if they're living in fear. Yes, time is speeding up. I'm glad someone agrees because it's kind of wild. And if you're like me and, as a child, I was very analytical, very type A. I plan things out. I'm a writer, so I love to journal my thoughts and just make plans. But as this time is speeding up, as I'm tuning into joy, into soul, things don't go as planned very often. I can go about a few weeks So as I'm planning my business, planning my life, and the goals I want, I put into motion what I know is possible for me within a couple weeks. And the rest I leave up to the universe to surprise me, to give me more inspiration, more clarity. And if you're in your 20s and 30s like me, that's very different than how our parents or the older generations might be perceiving life. So the next message I want to share with y'all, but I want to take a moment to take a breath and just check in. If you're new listening, let me know who you are, where you're listening in from, and how this message might be resonating with you about this massive deprogramming, like what it really means. Because contrast to that, people want to control everything. So we're going to see more nature kind of have this tumultuous energy to it where we can't really predict anything. So in the news, online, if you pay attention, it might seem like, oh, the people are planning so many agendas that are bad for the earth. But in reality, in our present lives, and tell me if this is true. I do get hot, thank you. If you're, don't distract me. Hello from East Vancouver, Canada. I forgot what I was saying. Thank you. I will take a breath. But if you're here, let me know who you are and where you're listening in from. Canada. Planning, thank you. Yes, we're seeing people try to plan and, bring us back to these systems that don't work anymore. But if you're on the soul path, you're not really paying attention anyway. If you're truly present in your life right now, we're not really tuned into what's happening, the agendas politically or what's happening in the news. You're paying attention to what's here in front of you, and you're taking care of the people that you love. And that's what matters. And that's what's going to end up radiating and shifting what you're perceiving in the world anyway. Hey, Chait Sanchi, nice to see you. Hope you're doing well. So we're talking about deprogramming tonight. Allowing us to be listening to our soul, even if it doesn't make sense, not only to the older generations or your parents or your systems, your government. Are you able to stay so present in your life that you're not afraid to make different kinds of choices? So the second message that came through, you're going to see seasons come in where it's more rapid. So if you're in the soul path and you start really tapping into your joy, things come in very quickly that you don't perceive, that you may not have expected, and it doesn't always mean it's a bad thing. So if people are not in alignment with their soul, and then you're out there living authentically to your path, then people may perceive you as being erratic or kind of crazy, or maybe they don't trust your energy. Because the more authentic you are, the more you're listening to the divine, your own intuition, as I'm keen frequencies saying, you're making original choices, which means you're originally thinking for yourself, which means your life is not going to be an illustration of what other people expect. In this day and age, we have to be willing to mentally adapt quick. So being quick on our feet, but mentally. So just because I'm saying that doesn't mean you have to be incredibly intelligent in order to be successful in this time. Just meaning that you have to have more mental resilience just by being present. So if you're trying to fit into the systems that you were grown up in, you were raised in, and it's just not fitting, maybe you can't afford health insurance right now. Maybe you absolutely want to kill yourself if you work on a 9-to-5 job. But that's how everyone in your family or in how you've grown up, that's how they live. But when you try to fit into systems, it doesn't work for you. So then you end up spiraling out, questioning reality. And if that's you, if you're resonating with not being able to afford housing right now, or just nothing's making sense of how to live sustainably and healthily in this world right now, you're not alone in that. And you're not supposed to feel like you can. And if that's you, if you're struggling in that way, recognizing, one, you're not alone, and number two, you're here to build the new systems. So that's what I mean by we're in a season of massive deprogramming. So people who are in power or think they are in power are trying to illustrate, plan out plans for us to live by. But it's not going to click. It's not going to resonate with you. And your mind's going to keep trying to tell you that you have to sacrifice things, you have to suffer, or you're never going to make it, you're never going to be successful. If that's you, then that means you're breaking through all of those illusions right now. And you're creating an entire original reality for yourself, for other people to see the possibilities. That is what happened for me. Following the soul, leaving the medical school system, seeing that there's whole industries out there of alternative healing, and following that path. And building a sustainable, healthy, abundant life off of it. Yes, those systems are on the way out. So if you're listening, let me know who you are and where you're listening in from. All right, the next message. So the last message was being quick mentally on your feet, being able to quickly adapt to what's happening in nature. So you have to be present. And I want to share a quick story about understanding that the more we're technologically connected, you're going to see more natural disasters happening, because so we can hear about it, and we hear about it in faster time. But also the earth is shifting. She's trying to wake us up to come back to the present moment. So if you really want to tune in, you're going to have to, so that you can stay quick on your feet and navigate this world in the systems, not living in illusion, not living in the life timelines that people have convinced us is safe, but that reality doesn't exist anymore. You're going to have to tune in and listen. You have to go outside. You have to take time off. Stop trying to chase something to be a part of a system that will never accept you. It's not supposed to, because you are a unique soul. And if you're thinking for yourself, you're going to see it more and more. Systems don't work, and you're allowed to not submit yourselves to them. You're here to create new ones. No matter how busy in life you think you are right now, or how much money you think you need to make, you need to create more quiet time. Listening to nature. What is she telling you? What is coming? I was able to see the floods, the great floods of the Southeast. I saw it months ahead of time because I was a friend of the water, of the riverbeds, seeing that they're drying up, and that I live in a temperate rainforest, and that if it hasn't rained for about 2 months, all that water will come because the earth takes care of herself. So I was paying attention. I was going outside. I was listening. So when a hurricane's on the map and a bunch of water's coming, I know it's going to flood in. So no matter how busy you think you are, I'm not saying this to scare you. I'm saying that you can navigate this world with peace and wisdom and intelligence and strategy. Just by listening, taking more time to do nothing but sit with yourself and talk to the spirit. Talk to your soul. And that's very hard when you live in a technological world where everything's so loud. People post reels all day with this loud music, the same songs you hear over and over again. everything has an ad. Can't get on the highway and drive without more ads. There's so much information just getting thrown at us. You have to be able to guard your mind and tune it out. Getting online and becoming a creator has helped me tune it out. I get on the apps, I share and produce content to hopefully raise the vibration, share higher frequencies, and then I get off. That's how I'm able to stay focused. So how are you able to tune in to your focus as a divine creator? How are you able to stay so present so that you're listening, so you can see what's coming and be okay with whatever is coming? Yes, Eckhart Tolle was one of my first books that I read when I was spiritually awakening back in 2018. The Power of Now. And I still listen to him very much, especially he's always talking about consciousness. So, but he's getting old. Eckhart Tolle and a lot of the spiritual teachers are getting old. So who are the new people that are coming in to teach? Who are the new people? Is that you? So join me in sharing what you're moving through in the spirit, in your consciousness. If you're resonating, if you're still listening to me, this is you. You're a spiritual guide too. I'm speaking to like souls here. Thank you for the comment about my content being beautiful. Yes, divine timing. And I don't hear a lot that people are listening. So if you're on this path of sacred entrepreneurship as well, now it's time to get out and to share your voice. Because as I'm saying in this message of, in this massive deprogramming and the new systems are rising, you are the ones who are creating the new systems that no one's ever seen before. And people are not going to like you. They're not going to like that you stretch people's mind. They're not going to like that you're not tuned in to the popular things. Why are you so weird? Right? People want to see you uncomfortable because it's uncomfortable to be authentic now, to be real. Love to you as well. Thank you for being here. So finding quiet time, being mentally resilient, quick on your feet mentally, not meaning you have to be the smartest person on earth, but you will be the smartest person around just from the wisdom you carry because you're listening. Not to the junk, not to the noise, to soul. So I have one more message, but if you guys have any questions, feel free to put it in the chat. I'd love to hear from you how this message might be resonating with you or previous messages. But this week I've been really just sharing about becoming more present. I have been rapidly ascending on the path, and I know a lot of you are as well. We're in summer. There's a lot of light codes, a lot of good energy around. But I am King Frequency reminding me to slow down and breathe. Noticing I get sweaty when I'm channeling. And it's nerve-wracking. It's nerve-wracking to just put yourself out there. So, what are the practices when you first read Eckhart Tolle, your first spiritual teachers, what did they tell you when you got so excited about yoga or meditation? Can you return to that as much as possible, even when the energy is so intense and so fast-moving? Yes, good. And hello, if you're coming in, let me know who you are. But even if you're answering this calling, even if you're like me and you're speaking to thousands of people every single day, you have a dream of your soul you're walking towards, even though it seems insane, we can still take time to slow down. So thank you for reminding me. Let's slow down together. So thank you for not scrolling and pausing with me in this energy just to connect. Hello, hello. Yeah. You get to the point on your spiritual path when you don't really resonate with the teachers anymore. You just need to share your soul. You need to start speaking. You're ready to teach, absolutely. So we're in a big transition right now. A wave of soul wisdom is leaving the earth and new wisdom is rising. People are going to get cranky about it. But let them. In this new wave of soul wisdom, your peace is going to irritate people. Why are you smiling? Why are you happy? How can you be happy? There's so much horrible things going on. It's not to say that you're not aware of it, that you're not connected to it, that you're not even suffering just as much. But you know that the key to resilience right now, the key to true, genuine survival is to be in the peace, to protect our mental health. Good. I'm glad you're laughing. I want to laugh more. Life has been so serious. I don't want to be so serious. I want to share about serious topics, but with a smile on my face. And I do that. So, how are you thinking outside the box at this time? I'm not saying that you're going out there, and we see people, right, who say they're spiritual, but they're really on too much drugs and just spewing out random garbage on the street. I'm talking about the part of you that meditates on things for a while. And then when you start sharing those thoughts, people look at you like you're crazy. But secretly, they like what you're saying. They just don't want to let you know that they like what you're saying. So, thinking outside the box at this time, we're talking about deprogramming from the systems, recognizing that if we can't fit in, nothing is working. But that's what we were taught, it's what we were raised by. Hey, King Tahuti. Yes, I'm glad you guys are connecting. Please chat with each other. Recognizing if you can't fit into the system, if you can't afford housing, if you're like, well, this life doesn't make sense. Is something wrong with me? Am I incompetent? It's not that you're incompetent. It's that the systems are old and you're here to create a new one. So you have to think outside the box. And the last thing I want to touch on tonight, getting out of hustle culture. Of course, everyone talks about the rat race, but I want to talk about hustle culture and just how that is not how hard you're going to work all day. I don't want you to challenge yourself to not work every hour of every day and spend more time in meditation, spend more time in the body, go outside. And then you'll see that you can get a lot more done in just a fraction of that time with the energy. Shifting out of hustle culture and perceiving that if you're on the entrepreneur path, if you're out here and you're recognizing, yeah, working one 9-to-5 job is not going to cut it for me. So you start building new hustles, but they're not hustles. You're living authentically. You're creating resources for people. Because the resources the systems have created that you can't tap into, it's not resonating with you, it doesn't help you, it doesn't serve you. So you create new ones. What are the resources that people around you need right now? You create them, whether that's books, music, clothing, it could be anything. Makeup. I can't wear makeup in a grocery store. It makes my skin like break out. I can't buy normal clothes at stores I used to shop at. When I was younger, they just fall apart because production can't keep up. So we're taking initiatives into our own hands. Instead of sacrificing our lives to jobs that are killing us or killing the mind, selling our soul. Fragrances, very nice. Yes. Natural chemicals, very good. Oh no, I'm frozen. Oh no, not this again. It puts this filter on if I touch the screen, and it's funny because I was talking about makeup and now I don't wear it because it's poison. And I don't know how to take this filter off. Oh, it's so weird. Oh, I got it. Okay. So what are the resources that you're creating with peace in your heart that you're actually going to use, that you can share with people in your community? And then you start getting online and you speak and you teach people about why you created it. And boom, you have a side hustle that isn't a hustle. It's your authentic path. It's your soul. So creating resources instead of indebting ourselves to resources that we think we need. I'm going to say that one more time. You are a divine creator, creating your own resources for yourself and other people. Instead of indebting, going into debt to afford resources we don't even really need, that don't serve us. You can't get a human being on the phone. Why are you spending so much money on it? They don't care about you. I'm about to finish acupuncture school. Gotta pass medical board exam to be licensed, praying I can do it. Acupuncture, we need that. You can do it. No matter how long it takes. As long as your why is strong, you'll get it. If it was divinely inspired by the divine, by the universe for you to have it, it's yours. It's just when. Just take care of yourself, please. As a high achiever over here, I'm telling you, take care of yourself first. Nothing is worse. Nothing is worth selling your physical health for. And it's the irony of people in the health profession that they sacrifice their bodies as a health professional to help other people heal. As a client, as a patient, I do not want to go to a health practitioner that is not healthy themselves. I want to see them healthy because then I trust you to touch me. Take time for yourself. It'll come. That's the illusion that the systems tell us, right? The programming, the evil programming. That you don't have enough time. If you don't do it now, it'll never happen. If you're not working so hard, you're sick. You're not intelligent. It's a lie. So, I shared what I wanted to share tonight, but if you guys have any final questions or stuff you want to talk about, just tuning in. Just hello to the other weirdos out here who are home on a Friday night. Just talking about spiritual things. And I pray you have fast recovering. Yeah. Don't let stress get to you. You got this. It's acupuncture. That's ancient wisdom. Ancient wisdom. You already know what to do. Apprenticing, yeah. That's when I left college, that's what I've been doing. I always have a mentor. I'm always apprenticing under some discipline, whether that was farming or martial arts, and now shamanism for me. That's an important example of the deprogramming we're talking about. Apprenticing versus going into debt for the rest of your life to go to an institution, to a school where, for me, I just like to read. I'll read a whole textbook versus sit in a class and listen to someone speak. And I'll learn just as well. But did I need to spend as much as I spent to go do that? But then if we don't go to a high institution of learning, then people will judge us, right? We'll never be successful in life. But as I started this message tonight, if you're listening to your soul, you don't have to plan months. You don't have to plan years ahead. Just plan a couple weeks. Be so present. And your soul will guide you to the very exact places and the people, the learning that you need, the skills that you need. That is very anti how many of us were raised, especially here in America. Cool. Glad you're connecting through shamanism. Peace and blessings, hoverboards. So, yeah, reaching the end of the message. Any final questions in the chat? Any final thoughts or just prayers for the community who are going to listen later? And this is going to get posted on YouTube as well. So if you're not following me on YouTube, please go subscribe. The construct is an illusion, yes. But hoverboards, which constructs are you talking about? Tell the people. I might go live. I'm going live about 3 times a week. And it's going to be kind of random, but it's either Instagram or Facebook. Not Facebook, sorry. Instagram or YouTube. Hoverboard says everything. The entire ball of wax. Yeah. It's just funny. And I started this year like this. I was in my first trimester of pregnancy, so I had time on my hands to just doom scroll and get stressed out about what was happening and just everything so changing so rapidly and quickly with our political system, right? Just being concerned. But why spend so much energy concerned about any of it? Actually, it's a blessing when we're having to think for ourselves now. But if you're trapped in fear and you think that you don't have any true autonomy or a voice in this world, you're going to stress. You're going to fear what's happening. Instead of taking the empowerment, sourcing the wisdom of you are a conscious leader, you are a community leader, you are a divine creator. Oh, AI, yeah. AI was exciting at first, and then now I attempted it, trying to use it. Now I avoid it. I use it kind of like I would use a spelling check on a Google sheet. But people, especially businesses, even schools now, are using AI to send newsletters. That just, to me, it says that you're lazy. you're lazy and you don't want to think for yourself. And it's inauthentic, and I don't trust it. I will never buy from a business that uses AI. Yeah, and how much water. I would love to hear you guys' thoughts on this, but I have a moral complexity about even being on here in the first place, knowing it uses so much resources to generate the connection. At the same time, if I'm not on here, who is counteracting the lower vibrations and the bull crap that other people are posting? Like, I want to be a breath of fresh air. I want to be a reminder that we don't have to listen to all that. That there are real people out here, that you're not alone. And how I've been praying on it is, look, my ancestors were brought here, some by force, some by slavery, some by choice. I'm a mixed woman. Most recently, my grandparents coming from tribes that are still living very indigenously. And if I have this opportunity to be in the developed world, if I have this opportunity to build so much resources that people, my living ancestors, don't have anything close to what I can touch, have access to every day, I have a responsibility to help protect the earth with the resources that I cultivate. And that's how we should be regarding technology. It should be a tool to connect with people we need to remember God, and to do God-like things. And I have to say God a lot because I'm in the Southeast and I'm here to really stretch how people talk about God coming out of religion, especially in the South. People are still thinking and worshiping like they did hundreds of years ago. So I'm sorry if when I say God, it triggers some of you. It triggers me, me too. But when I say God, I'm speaking of the Mother, Father, Spirit. So just remember that. Am I okay? Yeah. I'm okay. I'm like everybody else on here. Just doing the best I can, showing up. Life is pretty good, but there's some stuff I can be worrying about, but I'm not going to give it my energy, you know? Yep. All right, y'all. Thank you so much for joining me in the live. I'll be back again in a few days. Subscribe on YouTube. That's where I'll put this recording on YouTube as well. And if you want to chat with me one-on-one, please reach out, email. I don't answer DMs. I don't respond to comments. Please send me an email, like a well-thought-out email. Have an intention. Look me up on my website first. Otherwise, I appreciate your time. And wishing you peace and love on your soul path. Wherever that's taking you, remember, you don't have to use your brain so much. You don't have to hustle so hard. Just be as present as possible. That's how you regain the control you think you want. Just being present. So that's all I have. Peace and blessings. I'll see you guys in the next live. Yes, gratitude to you. Thank you. Good night.